Hello everyone. So the next topic which we will be going to cover is about the abscisic acid. That what is abscisic acid? What is the transport and biosynthesis of abscisic acid? What is the history of abscisic acid? Then what are the psychological factors or effects of the abscisic acid? So let's get started with the standard definition of plant hormone. So according to a standard definition, plant hormones are small organic compounds synthesized by specific plant cells, tissues, active in low concentration and promote or inhibit growth and developmental processes. So this is the standard definition of plant hormone. Then plant hormones are able to exert their action locally or at a distance. Some are transported from one organ to another organ to produce their psychological effect, and some others bring about changes in the same tissue or within the same cell when they are synthesized. So this is about the plant hormone. In this figure, all the plant hormones are being depicted here. For example, there are auxins, there is ethylene, abscisic acid, cytokinins, then there are gibberellins, there is salicylic acid. All these are plant hormones which are being depicted in the figure, and the reference of this figure is being shown here. So in the next slide we will be talking about what are the types of plant hormones. So there are 5 types of plant hormones. So in this, auxin, gibberellins, cytokinins, abscisic acid and ethylene. So in detail we will be talking about the abscisic acid. That what is abscisic acid? Abscisic acid is basically a stress hormone. So this is the history, that how it was being identified, who were the scientists involved, what were they studying about. So all this we will be covering in this slide. So first of all, this is the structure of abscisic acid. So abscisic acid, that is also called ABA, is a stress hormone, and it was first identified and chemically characterized by Frederick T. Adicott and his co-workers when they were studying compounds responsible for abscission of cotton fruits. So it was originally called abscessin 2 because they thought it played a major role in the abscission of fruits. So at about the same time, when they were studying this, at about the same time, another group called this as a dormin because they thought it has a major role in the bud dormancy. Later, the name abscisic acid was coined for these compounds. So afterwards, the name abscisic acid was named for these compounds. So if someone asks you what was the first who first identified the abscisic acid, it was the Frederick T. Adicott and his co-workers. They were studying a compound which is responsible for abscission of cotton fruits. Then it was called a dormin by another group because they thought that it played a major role in bud dormancy, but later they named it as a abscisic acid. So in contrast, if we look at other hormones, for example auxin, gibberellins and cytokinins, they are represented by various active derivatives, and ABA is a single compound. The other hormones are represented by different derivatives, but ABA is a single compound. So the next which we will be discussing is about the biosynthesis and transport. So biosynthesis and transport is basically that ABA is synthesized almost in all the cells that contain chloroplast and other plastids. So chloroplast and plastids are basically present in the plant cells. So they are synthesized in all the plant cells which contain chloroplast and plastids. So the transport of ABA occurs both through the xylem and phloem and also through parenchyma cells which is outside the vascular bundle. So this is basically the biosynthesis and the mechanism by which the IPP gets converted to ABA. IPP is basically isopentyl pyrophosphate. So this pathway begins with IPP and leads to the formation of ABA, which is basically occurs through both the xylem and phloem and also through parenchyma outside the vascular bundle. So that leads to the conversion of ABA. So this is the pathway. This first it takes place in plastid, then it is the mechanism is taken place in the cytosol. So this is how the whole process works, and IPP is the first derivative compound of the cycle, and then it gets converted into ABA, that is abscisic acid. Then we will be talking about the psychological effects of the ABA, that is abscisic acid. These are some of the psychological effects which are being described here. One is the first is the stomatal closure, second is the root and shoot growth, third is the dormancy and germination, fourth is the vivipary, and fifth is the hydraulic conductivity. So first we will discuss about the stomatal closure. Stomatal closure. During the water stress, ABA concentration increases dramatically in plant cells, which leads to stomatal closure. So, during the water stress, ABA concentration increases dramatically in plant cells, and which leads to stomatal closure. Stomatal closure is basically driven by a reduction in guard cell turgor pressure caused by a large efflux of potassium ions and anions from the cell. So, they are driven by reduction in guard cell turgor pressure, which is caused by a large efflux of potassium ion and anions. So the higher concentration, ABA concentration in cell, increases the cytosolic calcium concentration, and this stimulate the elevation in the concentration of the cytosolic calcium. So they also have effect on stomatal closure under the red and the blue light. So increase in basically increase in the cytosolic calcium causes opening of calcium activated ion channels on the plasma membrane, and the effect of ABA on stomatal aperture under the red and blue light varies. So increasing ABA concentration inhibits blue light stimulated stomatal opening in a concentration dependent fashion, but there is no effect on red light stimulated opening. So ABA concentration have been shown to inhibit the proton pumping and potassium uptake, which are central to blue light stimulated stomatal opening. So it all depends on the closure and the opening of the stomata in the plants basically, and how the ABA plays a role. For example, ABA increases the concentration when there is a water stress, then it has effect on stomatal aperture also. When the blue light and the red light, it varies. So it has shown many effects on the stomatal closure. So next we will be discussing about the root and the shoot growth. Roots and the shoot growth. So there are different effects on the root and the shoot growth, and the effects strongly depend on the water status of the plants. So AB has different effects on the root and shoot, and the effects are strongly dependent on the water status of the plants. So for example, under the low water potential, ABA levels are high. The endogenous hormone exerts a strong positive effect on root growth by suppressing ethylene production, and they plays a negative role on the shoot growth. So under the low concentration of water, there are high levels of ABA, which leads to the strong positive effect on root growth, and they have negative effect on the shoot growth. And the endogenous ABA acts as a signal to reduce shoot growth under the water stress conditions. So they reduce the shoot growth under the water stress conditions. So it depends on the level of water, and it has different effects, and it is also dependent on the status of the water, that how much the water plant is being given. So that depends on this part. So the next we will be discussing about the dormancy and germination. ABA is required for the development of desiccation tolerance in the developing embryo, the synthesis of storage proteins, and the acquisition of dormancy. So the high levels of ABA, what is the high level of ABA does? High level of ABA in maturing seeds inhibit germination. It inhibits germination, and there are many types of dormant seeds which germinate when ABA is removed or inactivated. So what happens is, the ratio of ABA to gibberellin is also another plant hormone which determines whether the seed remains dormant or germinates. So this is a hormone balance theory which states that the ratio of ABA to gibberellin determines whether the seed should remain in the dormant stage or in the germination stage. So what happens is, although the less is known about the role of ABA in bud dormancy, but ABA is one of the inhibitors that accumulates in the dormant buds. Very less is known about, very few studies have been done on this, but the role of ABA in bud dormancy is one of the inhibitors that accumulates in the dormant buds. So next we will be studying about the vivipary. Vivipary and precocious germination. So before going in detail about how the ABA play a role in these things, we will first understand what is vivipary and what is precocious germination. So ABA deficient embryos may exhibit precious germination and vivipary. So what is vivipary? Vivipary is basically the germination of mature seeds within the fruit on maternal plant prior to dispersal. So this is about the vivipary. Then it is rare in angiosperms and it's largely restricted into mangroves. There are also plants where seeds germinates while attached to the mother cell, and the seedling are stick into the mud below and continue to grow. So this is about the vivipary. Then the phenomenon of seedling formation without completing normal embryonic development is precocious germination. So seedling formation without completing the normal embryonic development is precocious germination. So how does the ABA play a role in this? The inactivated or the low levels of ABA can lead to precocious germination and vivipary. Both these things ABA can lead to in the low concentration or in the inactivated state. So the next, this is about the vivipary, precocious germination, how the ABA plays a role in this. The next we will be discussing another psychological effect, that is hydraulic conductivity. So first we will go with the standard definition here also. Hydraulic conductivity is basically decreasing the resistance to water movement across the membrane. So this is the hydraulic conductivity. So how the ABA plays a role in this? ABA increases the hydraulic conductivity and ion flux of root in response to water stress. So this is how a role of ABA is being depicted in all these factors, in all these 5 factors, that is stomatal closure, root and shoot growth, dormancy and germination, vivipary and hydraulic conductivity. So this was all about the abscisic acid. It is also a major plant hormone. It is also called a stress hormone. So all these things are relates to the abscisic acid. So this was all about it. The references are given here, that what were the references of the abscisic acid. These are papers from which I have made the slides. These are some of the links from which I have taken the structures. Thank you.